Hi everyone and welcome once again to the TrainAid HQ. My name is Nick and in today's video we are looking at the Level 3 Award in Education and Training. We are uncovering Unit C, which is Assessment Methods. And in this video we are looking at 2.3, Identify sources of information that should be made available to learners and others involved in the assessment process. So to complete this assignment question, we need to describe a minimum of 5 different sources of information that should be made available to learners and others before or during a course. So in other words, we are investigating the information that should be given to learners and also staff members throughout a course to help to prepare them for an upcoming assessment. So we're going to understand the different information that we should give out to learners and staff members to make everyone aware of assessments. Just on the template, we have a number of examples such as the assessment criteria, the time, the location of the assessment, so where the assessment is taking place, assessment deadlines, so when learners need to submit their work by, a reading list as well to support learners with their qualification, grade boundaries, so informing learners of a grading system and what they need to do to get particular grades if they're looking for different courses and progression areas and they need a particular grade to go on to the next level, and results information, so when and where learners are going to be receiving their grades and information as well. So once again, I have completed the first question to show you the level of detail within the answer that we're looking for, and I've selected some other answers which I haven't completed, but these are the ones I would go for as well. So in terms of information that we should give to learners on our courses and qualifications, the first is the assessment criteria. So the assessment criteria, in my own words, refers to the standards, guidelines or benchmarks used to measure a learner's knowledge or skills against. So when beginning a new course or even before the course, if you have a course specification or a handbook that you can give to learners, this is going to improve their knowledge about how the course or qualification is graded or assessed, and also the assessment methods used as well. The purpose of assessment criteria is to outline to learners the expectations for what is to be achieved and provide a structured approach to measuring success. So with the assessment criteria, learners can really gauge how much work they need to put in to achieve the qualification, the guided learning hours, the very much what they need to do to pass the qualification as well. By sharing the assessment criteria information can help ease learners' nerves and help to discuss any questions to promote understanding regarding the assessment as well. So by providing learners with the assessment criteria, then this is very much a fantastic way of promoting fairness, objectivity. It promotes that all learners are in the same boat. They're going through the journey together, that no learner should be overly advantaged here, that all learners are being given the criteria. So it's promoting transparency. And I think it's a fantastic way of breaking down perhaps a complex course into manageable stages. So if you're giving the assessment criteria from the awarding body, it makes the process smoother at the beginning of your course. It promotes discussion, debates. It's a great way to really get learners to open up about their worries or concerns. And they could also talk about their aspirations and what they're hoping to achieve as well. So giving the assessment criteria is a really useful tool. Even before learners start the course, if you're giving them the assessment criteria, they can make a judgment whether the course is right or not for them. It makes the course really official and sets the bar for the learners to go on and to achieve there. So I think it's really good to give learners the official standards or guidelines for the course. Next one is time and location of the assessment. So this is a fantastic source of information. So by giving the learner the time, the correct time, the location of the assessment, this helps the learner to prepare fully for their assessment. It helps to reduce any anxiety or stress or any nerves. Learners will understand what they need to bring to the assessment, how long they should take to get to the assessment, and really it does provide learners with that sense of ownership that they need to be there on time. So if we can outline this at the beginning of the course, it really does help the flow. And of course, by giving learners timely reminders about the time and location of the assessment, it's going to be a fantastic approach, really. So learners know where to be, they're organized, they can bring their equipment, and they are going to start the assessment on time. There's not going to be any latecomers as well. Otherwise, that might have a knock-on effect in terms of the times of the assessment. So learners can agree to the time, the location. They might even have to sign a declaration as well. But if we're changing the location, learners can get confused, anxious, worried. There could be an appeal from a learner if we're not giving the learner the exact time and location. So it's best to be organized, and you as an assessor can book in the assessment location well in advance. So there's no excuses. Learners have been given that adequate time, the location, the exact details of where they need to be. So when creating your own course, always think ahead and book in your assessment time and location early doors. So we're giving those assessment dates at the start. And again, it's really beneficial because learners can prepare for their assessment in their own time as well. So once again, I would like for you just to describe perhaps time and location of the assessment. You could go for that. And I would say just a few lines, just in your own words, on what that means and on why it's important we do that. Assessment deadlines. That I tell you what, that is another good source of information as well. So we need to give learners the adequate assessment deadlines. The reason being is that learners can balance their work life, their home life, and they can use an adequate amount of time to complete the qualification as well. So if we're giving deadlines in a timely manner at the start of the course, this promotes the learners' independence, their timekeeping skills, their research skills as well. So it allows for them to digest the information, to start perhaps on their coursework or preparation for an exam. So they're given enough time to give the assessment a good go. So they'll feel reassured, well prepared, and they can put the actual assessment deadlines within their diary, for example, and then this is giving them responsibility and it gives them the flexibility. They have choice to prepare as much time as possible as well. We're also sharing deadlines with fellow staff members as well, because you might need to lean on your fellow colleagues for fellow assessors. You might need to utilize them, and therefore we need to share those, of course, with managers as well, to inform them when and where you're going to receive the work from learners to be marked as well. So it's really important that we keep both learners and managers, fellow teachers, up to date about assessment deadlines. And of course, you might need to use learner work for the IB process as well. And therefore, you need to get learner work in, you need to mark it. And that could be used within standardization meetings as well. So assessment deadlines is absolutely crucial. And once again, for external invigilation or inspections, You need to have physical work that's been created by learners, which has been marked by you. So very important we get the learner work in marked on time. So really important we set crystal clear assessment deadlines to promote learner independence, and of course to inform our managers that the courses are being run correctly and in a timely manner as well. So yes, I've got quite a few different sources of information taking shape here that we're giving to learners and staff members. Another one is a reading list. Okay, so at the start of your course or qualification, it's very important that we give learners a reading list. So this could be a list containing textbooks, journals. It could even be videos as well, newspaper articles. You could even have the staff handbook. And we're giving learners lots of information, and this is going to help them with the writing of their assignments or the preparation for their exam, the preparation for their assessment, whether it's a presentation, a role play. So we're giving lots of different sources of information. The reason we're doing that is that learners can complete their reading in their own time. They can build their confidence of how to tackle the assessment. They could look at contrasting points of view as well, especially if it's a written assignment. Once again, we're boosting the learner's independence, functional skills of literacy. So reading, they're becoming more reliant on themselves and less reliant on the teacher. So it gives them the opportunity to complete tasks within their own time. And it ultimately gives learners direction as well. If we're giving a reading list, we're giving them direction towards the correct answers, as it were, how to complete an assignment. So we want to give as much support and guidance as possible, not to leave learners in the dark. We want to give them as much support, and I think a reading list is a fantastic tool as well. Okay, what you can do with, if you do choose a reading list, you could say some examples of sources of information that are on your reading list. So it could be books, textbooks, websites. Maybe you could give examples of some books that you have on your reading list, for example. So once again, 2 or 3 lines describing a reading list and why it's important that we give that to learners. Final one I've selected is grade boundaries here. So I think this is particularly useful to give at the start of the course because it settles the learner's nerves. Grade boundaries are really, really useful because it shows what learners need to achieve a pass. So some learners are looking to achieve a pass and to hit the criteria. And that's it. Some learners are looking for the highest level, so they want to achieve the highest level, their highest grade, because they could be moving on to another qualification, and therefore we need to be transparent. We need to inform learners of what they need to do to go on to that next level. We don't want to disappoint them as well. So informing learners of the grade boundaries is really important for their own progression, for their records of achievement. And of course, you can do things like mock tests with your learners to help prepare them, mock assessments, and then you can obviously show the grade boundaries that they achieved within that mock assessment. So it's all to do with boosting their confidence, and it breaks down the assessment further so they feel more confident, more reassured. It gives them direction once again on what grade they're working towards as well. So grade boundaries is very key for their future goals as well. Wonderful. So that is that for criteria 2.3, identify source of information that should be made available to learners and others during the assessment process. So it's very important we of course let learners know and also staff members know about details of assessment for your courses to run smoothly as well. So the key word there is to identify sources. So I would go for 2 to 3 lines just describing each of the points. You can, of course, use any of these source of information. You might even think of some more, which is absolutely fine to include. So we're looking for 5 different sources of information there. Okay, once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and best of luck with this assignment question. And once again, do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all soon.